Hi there, we're going to get started with a MagJS tutorial. As always, we start at the home page here. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, MagJS is a library, not a framework. We don't tell you, how to do things. We just kind of give you the tools and let you to be creative and figure out any kind of way in which you want to do it. But today we're going to do something a little bit different and kind of show you um, something really neat, a cool way to implement MagJS. So it's just an option. Using our boilerplate plunker modular, we're going to do something different here. So if we go here, we're going to use the module pattern. And we're going to use this in our React tutorial about making comment box, comment list, comment. So each of these are their own component. This is the parent component. And these are all independent components. Now, with MagJS, to do something really simple like that, I'm going to show you what we can do here. So this is just the HTML. So we have our app initializer. Our comment box is our top component. It has a comment list. And in that comment list, you have a comment component. And you have a comment form. We're using the mag comps. And here we have our different objects, each separately, and then our initializer here. So let's kind of take a look at this stuff here. So in app init, what do we have? All we have right now is a mag comp. And mag comp, what that is versus mag module, is basically a wrapper for mag module. Mag module initializes the module and runs it, while mag comp simply wraps around mag module so you can pass a reference to it and initialize it whenever you like, as well as not just set the defaults, but override those defaults as necessary. So as you can see here, I'm creating a wrapper to this boilerplate, but then I'm initializing it with my own props. So you can both default props and override them using magcomp. So that's what we're going to use for the module pattern. And let's look at the module pattern. The module pattern in JavaScript is simply a way to separate our code, and we're going to use the mag namespace to make each of the modules we have here available into a given namespace. And the namespace we're going to use with mag namespace defaults to mag, and we're going to add mag.mods commenting. That's going to be our package, and to each of those modules we're going to add to our package commenting. We're going to add the comment, we're going to add the comment box, comment form, and comment list. All right, we're going to go to our next one. Now in our next one here, what we're doing is actually initializing. So we're showing an initialization. So here we have our commenting package in mag mods and comment box. And we're going to pass it some properties, some defaults to override the other ones. And let's look in comment box for a second. So you see here in comment box, this is the mag comp. And all that is a wrapper around our module and mag module to be called later on. So we say here's our component definition, that's the ID it should use in the HTML. We're adding it to the commenting package, and in our initializer we can actually call that function with these given props. And that's why you see hello world here. And we look at our HTML, we can see h1 is being replaced by world that we're sending in our initializer. Alright, so next up here we have in our comment box controller, and also the form we're initializing here, and our list as well. Okay. And at this point, now we're going to create our comment list. So let me show you how that happened. So how did we get from there to here? All right. So we created a UL in our comment list component that will house our list items, and an LI to iterate through each one. And in our app init, we're actually now passing in the props, we're passing this data, which has an author and text. We passed it to comment box, and comment box is passing that prop data to our comment list. And in comment list, here we are looping through the data, telling it for a comment list, we want each li to actually be a comment component with our datum. Now note the second parameter we're passing. The second parameter override is to whether or not to clone it. Now the reason why we want to clone it is because we don't want the same one over and over. We want a different one each time. So each time, let's look at our HTML, this comment component is being called with its author and text. It's actually creating a clone and then putting it into the li here. And that's why you see two of them right now. Okay. And what we want to do next is our comment form. So the next part in our comment form, first thing we want to do is initialize it, right? So we have defined it here, but now we want to call it in the comment box because it's a sibling. So we could just simply do this. Comment form. And you know what, I don't think we're going to pass it any data right now, but we probably want to have an on comment submit handler callback. And we can simply add that here. This, let's say, handle comment submit equal function. This way we can update anything as necessary, and we should probably bind it to this as access to the right scope. And what that will do is it will receive the comment that's being added in our form. And remember, this equals state, so let's just simply do this to get that. And there you go. All right, beautify that. Okay, so we're calling the initialize comment form, passing it a property on comment submit, which equals here, which is going to be bound to this, and it will receive the comment. So what are we going to do with that comment? Well, we probably want to create a collection to save it, and we can probably use different utils and stuff like that. But just for this case scenario, we're going to do something really simple. We're just going to have a variable here with our collection, which is simply an array. And on initialization, we will have that equal our data like that. And this way, we can simply push it on there. Now, what we haven't done is actually made our form yet. So why don't we go back to the HTML for a second. So we wanted to collect is the author text. So why don't we just do this? Create a little form. Comment. Oops. Comment form. And in there we're going to have two input fields. One will be the author, and the other one will be the text. And lastly, our input type equal submit. Okay. And there you go. So why don't we get started in our comment form? Maybe I should save that one. In our comment form, we are probably going to want to do a few things. Specifically, we are going to want to define our author, empty him out, and the text. So this is our model. Actually, you know what? If you guys want to play along, you go back to MagJS, and you look for comment, It's right here. See a nice view of this. Let's see how it works. So in comment form, it's really straightforward. So we're doing some messaging and stuff, but we're not going to do it in this tutorial. But what we're going to do is have a handle submit. In our view, just handle that submit really simply. So why don't we do that? In our view here, in our props handle submit, we are submit handler. You see, we're going to bind it to this. And let's not forget we have to call our property back, right? On comment submit, we want to pass the new comment to it. So we have our author, which is this dot author, and our text, which is this dot text. So for now, that should suffice. Let's just check it out. All right, so I'm going to put my name, my text. It didn't seem to add it, so let's check it out in the box. So here's collection data. We probably want to keep something in the state that maintains that value. So why don't we simply say this data. This dot data equals that, and then we can go like this. Well, let's try that again. Oops, no, it should be state. Alright, here we go. Okay, let's try that. Alright, oh, there we go, pre-fill. Oh, you know what? I'm not preventing default. So why don't we get the event and do that? It was refreshing the page, like doing a real form submit. Alright, let's see what happens now. Seems to still be doing that. Let's see. Here. Oh, you know what? I don't think we're handling the on-click here. Why don't we check that out? Add. So if we look here, we can see in the index HTML, it's class add. Now we can give it a shot. Alright, so here we go. And there you go, it's being added there. So that's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot going on there. But if we look here, back at our working example here, we can see we're doing some other checking, like if the author is there or not, and also we're adding it back to empty, which we're not doing here. So why don't we do that at least? So basically, if there's something filled out, and then also put it back to what it was before, like that guy. Alright, let's try this again. And there it's empty. So this is a really simple example. I will put this link in the tutorial video, but just showing you the composability of components in MagJS, Using the module pattern of JavaScript, which is well known, there's a couple helper methods there like magcomp and mag namespace to pass things along. But that's about it. You can see it's really clean. It's very straightforward. You know, my author is empty. On load. On handle submit. Prevent default. This is native JavaScript method. This is not anything special. If they both exist, pass it up the chain. He gets a simple object. He adds it to the initial array. And then we empty it again. That's just how MagJS is. It's very elegant, simple bindings library that will help you in whatever pattern or framework you use. You can apply it in there. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Until next time, that is all. Thank you.